Solo Sikoa walked back into the Bloodline's arms Monday night, and for a few seconds, it looked like he'd finally given up the fight. Then, he Samoan spiked Jimmy Uso in the face and started swinging on Jacob Fatu. The whole thing was a trap, and nobody saw it coming. Welcome back to WrestlingCannva. What happened on Raw wasn't just another Bloodline brawl. It was the moment the entire war against Roman Reigns actually got real allies, and it started with the last thing anyone expected from Solo Sikoa. Here's how it went down. Sikoa showed up and made it look like he was finally caving, walking back toward Jimmy and Fatu like he was ready to fall in line after weeks of refusing every single order. Guards down, both men relaxed for exactly long enough. Sikoa hit Jimmy with a Samoan spike out of nowhere, then turned it into a full assault on Fatu. For a moment, it actually looked like Sikoa might pull it off alone, controlling the fight against the two men who'd spent weeks trying to break him. But Sikoa's still one man, and the Bloodline doesn't fight fair. Jimmy and Fatu recovered, and the numbers advantage took right back over, exactly the kind of situation that's put Sikoa on the losing end of every confrontation since Tama and Tala walked away from him. This is precisely why he's needed backup for weeks, and kept getting rejected every time he asked. Then, LA Knight ran out swinging a steel chair, evening the fight for the first time. Royce Keys tried to jump in too, but got neutralized in the chaos before he could really turn the tide. Still, that's two men who'd both already told Sikoa no showing up anyway. Without being asked, the second things actually got dangerous. That's the detail that matters more than any of the rejections that came before it. Knight and Keys never needed convincing through words. They needed to see Sikoa actually bleeding for this fight before they were willing to bleed for it too. If you're loving this Bloodline chaos as much as I am, tap subscribe. I'm covering every update as this story builds toward SummerSlam. With the Bloodline forced to back off, Knight grabbed the microphone and finally said what he'd refused to say for weeks. He was done playing games with the Bloodline, and he was done waiting. He officially announced he was teaming with Sikoa and Keys, and challenged Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Jacob Fatu to a 6-man tag match at SummerSlam. WWE made it official on the spot. Months of Sikoa getting turned down, one betrayal disguised as surrender. And suddenly, the alliance nobody thought was coming is locked in for the biggest show of the summer. Think about what Sikoa actually accomplished by faking that surrender. He didn't just get a cheap shot on Jimmy and Fatu. He proved something to Knight and Keys that no amount of talking ever could, that he was willing to walk directly back into the Bloodline's grip just to get one clean shot at them. That's not desperation. That's the exact kind of reckless commitment that finally convinced two skeptical allies he was worth fighting alongside. This puts Sikoa, Knight, and Keys on a genuine collision course with the full Bloodline machine at SummerSlam, on the same card where Roman Reigns defends against Seth Rollins. That means Reigns has two separate wars to worry about on the same night, and if his own cousins can't handle 3 men who all have personal reasons to want them gone, Reigns might have to step away from his own title match to bail them out. Sikoa didn't just survive the Bloodline this week. He finally proved he was worth fighting for. Do you think Knight, Sikoa, and Keys actually pull off the win at SummerSlam, or does the Bloodline's numbers game catch up to them again? Tell me your prediction in the comments. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.